Okay, welcome back to the Reconvened City Council meeting of last week. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Here.
Councilor Bellata? Councilor Economo?
Here.
Councilor Rizzolo?
Here.
Councilor King?
Here.
Councilor Mitra?
Here.
Councilor Ojeda?
Here.
Councilor Rivera?
Here.
Councilor Rosen?
Here.
Councilor Toomey?
Here.
And Mayor Petty.
Here. Okay, we have several items to discuss. First is order the Mayor Petty as Chair of the City Council Standing Committee in accordance with Rule 33E, the rules of City Council, request the manager respond to the rules at its June 2nd meeting, which is amended to June 9th, to take up the report of the Committee of Finance and Communications City Manager, recommend approval of the fiscal year 2027 operating budget as presented by the City Manager, refer to the Standing Committee on Finance on May 5th. And also we have items I need a vote to bring back into the council meeting, which is items at the end, item 33D and 33E. 33D is Communication City Manager recommending transmitting information communication of the answers to questions raised during the fiscal year 2027 budget, and the city clerk transmitting information communication relative to the historical efforts to honor the life and legacy of Aries Ann Award. So we will take those collectively on the roll call.
Chairman,
Councilor Bergman?
hold on, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Counselor?
Yes, what are we voting right now? I know you ran through about 6 of them.
Well, this is on the new business, so the manager, this is on the council, it was recommended by the clerk that we're not really voting on anything, we're just voting on to take the answers to the budget and bring it into the council.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We'll take those collectively, roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
I actually already voted, but yes.
Councilor Bellata? Councilor Economo?
Yes.
Councilor Rizzolo?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes,
Councilor Mitra?
Yes.
Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rosen?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay, so we are on the budget item. We go out of pages here. Go back to the front. So see if anybody have any questions, because the motion is going to be adopt the operating budget and the capital budget and the advertised loan orders, and also adopt any finance chairman's orders. So any questions on the budget?
is this to vote to go to city council?
No, we already did that last week.
So this is the city council approval of the budget for fiscal 27?
Correct.
All right. I'd like to hold those, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. I'll make it out early tonight. Okay, you gonna hold the budget under privilege?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mr. Chairman, my I think procedural rule at this point is that we accepted the committee's report. It came before City Council tonight. The Councilor King has the ability to hold it, so it will be held until the next meeting,
Okay.
When's the next meeting?
next week.
Okay.
Okay. He's held under privilege. Councilor Bergman?
If I may, Mr. Are we still in finance? I can sit.
No, we're on the council. You can stand up. We're on the
Thank you.
council meeting.
All right, thank you. I just want to be respectful. Obviously, it's held, but I just had a question or a thought, and that is, seems to me that when we vote on individual departments, at least I do, I assume some of my colleagues do have the understanding that we could ask further questions before there's a final vote. I don't really have a lot of other questions. We've certainly used a lot of time asking questions, but I do think it'd be helpful. I see some department heads here, but
What's-
I mean, if I had a follow-up question, let's say with DPW or another department,
Well,
sorry.
the ruling is that you can ask a question to get a report on something, but I'm not going to have a discussion because it's been held under privilege at the beginning of the meeting. So you can ask for a report on something for
No, I'm
next
just
week.
asking for procedurally, are department heads to be here when we vote?
Oh, for
the
next
vote?
week?
Well, anytime we vote on the budget, tonight would have been anticipated to be the vote, but yeah, next
Yeah,
week.
you can ask the city manager to have department heads here. Maybe if anybody wants a department head here for next
Or
week.
at least available on call.
Yeah, contact, I would suggest you contact the manager's office and ask, if you have any questions for a particular department head, that, ask them to come, if we can.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Council Economo?
Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move our meeting to 4 o'clock next Tuesday. I think with the time we've spent the last few weeks with our meetings, I think it'd be prudent.
Okay. Council Mitra?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to be a little bit clearer on the budget issue on our meeting. We have been meeting for the last couple of weeks or 3 weeks, going through the budget and hearing about it, but I understand that councilors still cannot do any changes or add anything. That's the way
Correct.
the law is. And if there is a recommendation a councilor makes, that probably will not be taking place this fiscal year. Is something that we'll have to deal with it in the
Correct.
coming fiscal year. Am
Yeah.
I correct? So
Yep.
there's not much the councilors are able to do if they want to do in
You can
this
make
fiscal
a
year.
general cut is all that you can do.
Yeah, just you can cut it, but you cannot recommend anything that is up to the
You
manager.
cannot add to the budget, correct.
So I just think that, I know many of us probably will have some items that we'd like to make that happen in the city. Probably we need to think of how we can incorporate that to the city manager before he comes up with his appropriation for the next
For
fiscal
next year.
year.
Well, that's why we have monthly, most councils have monthly meetings with the manager to have discussions, so.
Yeah,
Any
well,
ideas?
I just wanted to put it as a thought process that we should probably have some say to him, knowing about the other departments, how they are doing, and then give him some recommendation. That's something that I would like to state, that probably we don't have any option now,
No.
but at least going forward, we'll think what we can do.
Yeah, you can, the manager listens to the councils, he listens to the community, he listens to the orders that are filed. So if someone puts an order on, he'll send it to the manager.
Thank you.
Councilor Rivera?
I just want to sign on to Councilor Economou's motion for 4 o'clock next week.
Okay, we're gonna do, I guess, a roll call. Roll call.
Mr. Chairman?
Council King?
Chairman. Yeah, I'm not available at 4 o'clock. I have work obligations. A vote to meet at 4 would exclude my participation at 4 o'clock. And if that were to occur, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that the budget matter be not voted on until I'm available. I have commitments next week. I understand some of us aren't working. Some folks have flexibility, and some folks are out of work at 3, out of work at 4. Unfortunately, I have a meeting that's scheduled that's clinical and cannot be changed on that date.
Okay, hang on, let's just see what the calendar is for next week. Want to do 5? Yeah.
4:30?
Mr. Chairman, look, I don't want to be here till midnight, 1 o'clock. We're not doing anybody any favors. We're not doing ourselves any favors. We're not doing the general public any favors. We're not doing these poor people any favors sitting here either. I respect what Councilor King has brought forward, which is fine. We hold many subcommittee meetings missing a member. Sometimes a member has to come in late to a meeting. Sometimes they're absent for that meeting. So
Okay. What we'll do is at 4 o'clock have the meeting, we'll just wait for the full council to show up for the budget part of the vote.
that's your prerogative, Mr.
Okay. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
I just want to be procedurally clear. We're starting a meeting at 4, but we're not taking a vote on the budget till 5.
Right.
Now, I'm left in a tough position because I think it's a waste to start at 4 if we're not voting on something till 5.
It's
but-
going to be a combination budget next week. Right?
Well, there was a motion start at 4. It sounds like there's an amendment.
Well, okay, the motion's at 4 o'clock. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Bellata? Councilor Economou?
Yes.
Councilor Rizzolo?
Yes.
Councilor King? Councilor King? Okay. Councilor
Yes, I would, this includes the hour delay. I'll vote yes for that with the hour delay,
Not now.
yes.
It does not include the hour delay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
That'd be a no then.
Keep going.
That'd be a no.
Councilor Mitra?
Yes.
Councilor Ojeda?
I'm sorry, just for clarification, what are we gonna be doing from 4 to 5 then?
We have a complete double calendar next week.
Yeah, I'm not available at 4. There's no way I could be able to make it back by 4. So, is it my turn to vote? No.
Okay. Counselor Rivera?
Yes.
Counselor Rosen?
Yes.
Counselor Toomey?
I just want to clarify that I will have to take time off, but I'll be here at 4. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, and Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay. Okay, we are on 7B, transmit information consideration of the 2026 Memorial Day ceremonies. Motions to file. Roll call.
Counselor Bergman?
Yes.
Counselor Bellotta? Counselor Economo?
Yes.
Counselor Brazolo?
Clarification, what are we voting on? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it.
Okay, 7B, transmit information communication relative to the 2026 Memorial Day ceremonies which have passed.
Yes.
Okay.
Counselor King?
Yes.
Counselor Mitra?
Yes.
Counselor Ojeda?
Yes.
Counselor Rivera?
Yes.
Counselor Rosen?
Yes.
Counselor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. Transmit information communication relative to the proposed Purple Heart and Gold Star Memorial at Worcester Common. We're going to refer that to Parks, Veterans and Parks. Roll call. Is Council Bellotta on?
So you don't need...
No, so we're just, all those in favor? Opposed, so ordered. 7D, transmit information communication relative to the current staffs of the Worcester Police Station headquarters and its needed repair. We're going to send that to Public Works Committee. All those in favor? Opposed, so ordered. We have Chairman's orders, 8A to 8Z. Motion is to adopt. All those in favor? Opposed, so ordered. We have Chairman's orders 9A to 9I. Motion is to adopt. All those in favor? Opposed, so ordered. We have, hang on. Before we do the council orders, maybe we just do the manager's agenda first, so people sitting there can, if you don't mind, we'll go to, Mr. Manager, we'll go to the city managers on page, we're on 22.1. We'll go back to the orders. Transmit information communication relative to the appointment of Ryan Hacker to the Off Street Parking Board. Mr. Hacker, thank you for your service. And also transmit information communication, the reappointment of Dara Peruski of Off Street Parking Board. Thank you for your service. So motions to file both items. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 22.3A and B. Recommend the adoption of the amendments to the salary ordinance to ensure alignment with the changes adopted in the fiscal year 27 budget. We'll hold those to next week, these two budget items, along with the budget.
Mr. Chairman, which number?
That was 22.3A and B.
So we need 4 votes for that, or just,
No, oh, yeah.
we need 4?
No, we continue the meeting. Do we need votes on that? No, we don't need votes on that.
Okay.
Okay, we're on 22.11A, Treasury, make sure that's right. Treasury information communication relative to 2026 speed pump installations. Refer that to traffic and parking. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Treasury information communication relative to the municipality's authority to make repairs on private ways. Refer to Public Works. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on 22.19A, transmitting information communication relative to the Worcester Senior Center. Send that to Public Health and Human Services. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 22.26A, transmitting information communication relative to the financial update for the period ending March 31st, 2026. And also B, transmitting information communication relative to the fiscal update for the period ending April 30th, 2026. Motion to send both of those collectively to the MLO. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay. We did the finance items. Chairman's orders. Okay, so we can go back and go back to the agenda. Those are already done. Okay. Okay. 10A, request the manager, Commissioner of Public Works, Transportation Mobility collaborate to redesign the named street signs within the Crown Hill Local Historic District in an effort to reduce clutter on street poles and create space for and signage in locations where significant individuals have made meaningful contributions. Further request that the collaboration include the potential for using street signs similar to these used by the town of Rutland. Councilor Ojeda. Councilor Ojeda? This is, we're on 10A. This is on the Crown Hill Local Historic District on the street name signs.
I apologize. So yeah, just very quickly, there's been a lot of work done in this area, and I know the residents were looking to see what we could do when it comes to signage. There's a few signs that are missing, but I believe we talked about this the last meeting we had with the city manager, and we will address this, but also find a way to make sure any new signs come about, they're all pretty much in unison. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All set? Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? So ordered. Okay. Okay. Whoop, that light's out. 10B, request the manager, request the police chief provide increased speed and traffic enforcement in the vicinity of Bronco Street and Clark Street. Said information should include, but not be limited to, cars running red lights and crosswalk violations. Councilor Economo.
Real quick, Mr. Chairman. This area here too, there's parking problems in this section of Burncoat Street too that I'd like, whether it's WPD or traffic and mobility to deal with as well. People parking in the bike lanes, it creates a bottleneck, so.
Okay, send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. C, request made by the council to report concerning the revenues associated with each city-owned parking garage, parking lot, deferred maintenance at each location, and estimated costs to make necessary repairs. Further, if feasible, request the manager consider selling any parking garage lot and city owns that is underperforming financially. Councilor Economo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This comes from, as we all know, some of our parking garages, even our most newest, down here, not the one up here, not the one up here, the one down here. They're in tough shape. And where do we as a municipality draw the line and say enough's enough? Obviously, we have a tough time maintaining things. Is it worthwhile to put these properties up for sale, sell them, take those proceeds, put it, whether it goes back into maintaining what we have, or even just to get these properties back on the tax roll? I think it's something we need to look at. I think it's something we need to explore. We need to run the numbers because it's the maintenance of these properties that are taking us down. And I hear it from people all the time, even here at Federal Square going to the Hanover. people just don't want to park there. So I think it's time for us to really take a deep dive into what we own it for, parking garages, parking lots, and see if there's any way to liquidate any of them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay, send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 10D, request city manager requests the police chief provide increased enforcement of the illegal use of dirt bikes throughout the Burncoat Street neighborhood, as well as increased speed enforcement in the area. Council Mitra.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, through you to the manager. The weather is getting better, and many residents around Burncoat Street area, they go for a walk, and they find it kind of difficult to be safe when they see the dirt bikes are driving crazy, and also many cars are going beyond the speed limits that we have in the city, requesting to have little extra police force to watch it and make sure that they feel comfortable walking in this beautiful summertime that's coming up. So that's the request.
Okay, we'll send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
Thank you.
Request manager requests police chief provide increased speed enforcement on Culver Street. Councilor Rivera.
As it reads,
All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 10F, request the manager requests Commissioner Parks work with the appropriate representatives from the National Grid to ensure pole light number 5 through 80 in the vicinity of 30 Vincent Ave is repaired. Councilor Rivera.
yeah, the resident reached out. It's an issue, it's been going on for a long time, so I'm hoping that we can get this done
Okay.
as soon as possible.
All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request the manager requests police chief provide increased enforcement of 5-ton weight restriction truck ban on Hurd Street. I thought we had one there, but Councilor Rivera?
As it reads,
Okay. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 10H, request city manager consider increasing the efforts being made to raise awareness around residents signing up for the city's new Alert Worcester system. Said efforts should include a flyer to be mailed in the city's upcoming tax bills that highlight the importance of the program. It provides residents multiple ways to sign up for the alerts, including but not limited to a QR code, as well as placement of digital signage for the program at all properties. Council Mitra.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Once again, through you to the manager. I think the Alert Worcester is a very effective program. I think it helps every one of us, but it's only helpful if we register our names to get the messages. It's a one-way message, and I personally like it very much, and I like to see that most of us in the city register for it, and I'm trying to see that how we can really make it happen. And one of the things that I thought maybe we can give the information how to really enroll for it in their tax bill, that every house homeowners get it, or the auto excise tax bill so that all auto drivers in the city get it. So we're trying our best to reach out everyone. I think we need to see that most of us enroll for it, either do advertisement through digital signs like at the DCU Center or Puller Park, as best as we can to kind of move it forward, set it in the minds of people, particularly thinking of the seniors who may not really understand the QR code. Yes, QR code is good because many people might use it to really enroll through that version, but for them, for those seniors, if we can say that you can come to Main Street where we can help you, or go to the senior center where we can help you enroll. My goal is to see that 90% of the residents here are registering for it and really taking advantage of the benefit that it comes with. So my recommendation is to promote it as best as we can in every possible. It's not limited to this. If anything else you can think of, we should add on to that. Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. I, request the manager provide council with a report concerning the additional actions the city may take before the consideration of rent caps, such as seeking rental assistance from the federal and state government and ongoing efforts to reduce housing insecurity, increase the supply of quality affordable housing, prevent evictions, and maintain property values. Council Rosen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as we all know, the rent in Worcester is too damn high. And the question is, what are we going to do about it? And in Massachusetts, we know that there's a ballot question going to appear this fall. And it's purpose is to impose one of the nation's most restrictive and damaging statewide rent control agendas. There's only 3 states in the country right now that allow rent control, demand rent control, require rent control statewide, as this ballot question wants to do. Now, I just said the rent's, much too high, and for various reasons in my order, but I don't think rent control, rent stabilization is the way to go. I'm totally against it. That wasn't the main purpose of this order, but I would like to ask the manager, as the next few months go by, what are some of the other things we can do to allow people to live in Worcester in safe and healthy residential apartments and housing and so on. Right now, there's many more people coming to Worcester, which we should all be proud of that and glad of that, but there aren't enough apartments for them, and that, of course, supply and demand raises the cost of those apartments, and some of them are just ridiculously priced. They're overpriced, but people who need a place to live, they will pay anything they can afford, at least, for those apartments, even though they probably are making an unwise investment financially. So I just want the manager to come back, maybe over the next couple of months. What else can we do? It seems to me that the way out of this is obviously build more housing. Can the government, we do it through the Housing Authority, can the government somehow build more housing, not just looking for private developers who have to make money on their apartments? Rent control would certainly discourage them from building in Worcester, might send them to other cities and towns in Massachusetts, and might send them to other states. So I just think it's a terrible approach to a big, big problem. We all recognize the problem, but I think that the solution, according to this ballot question, is going to be worse than the problem. So that's my pitch. The manager, try to come forward with some suggestions. Assistance is the way we've handled the problem in the past. Assistance by the local government, especially the state government, and very especially the federal government. And that might be the way to look in the future. Are there grants? Is there funding available for us to subsidize some housing in the city of Worcester, but not rent control? Let's not tie the hands of future developers, construction people, and if the government can actually take a look at building more apartments, I think we should take a look at that too. So it's a problem. Rent control isn't the solution, but, my colleagues, what is the solution? There has to be one. There better be one. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We'll send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request the manager work with the downtown Worcester Business Improvement District owners, residents, students, nonprofits, the Worcester Regional Transit Authority, and Worcester Police Department, among others, to establish a downtown neighborhood association to advance for increased vibrancy, retail growth, public safety, transportation, planning and zoning, and economic development in the commercial, cultural, and social hub of the community. Councilor Rosen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, we've all attended our neighborhood association meetings for years. Those who were new to the council the past 6 months, I know they've gone to several of those, and the rest of us have gone to, maybe a couple of hundred of them over the many, many years. And they're very effective. They're effective in the neighborhoods. And we have a downtown neighborhood that I don't think is represented the same way as all the other neighborhoods. There's a lot going on in downtown Worcester. If you just want and look at retail, no. That's one weakness that we have, and a lot of cities and towns certainly have that problem with retail in their downtowns, especially with online businesses, commercial businesses. But here in Worcester, we have so many cultural organizations downtown. We have the Common with, various activities all the time. We have people moving into different apartments. We have a dog park. We have so much going on. Do we have problems? Yeah. We had a couple of issues in the Common, stabbing on the Common. We've had some, dangerous situations down there. That's another reason we probably should have not a business district, well, maybe a neighborhood and business district combined. The downtown area should be represented. We've got the Chamber. We've got the bid district down here. We've got some business owners. We've got a lot of residents. We've got social service agencies. We've got some state agencies. So my suggestion is we work with those agencies. The RTA would be important, the police department would be important. We work with them and we get a viable, working business and neighborhood association downtown. We used to have one years ago. It didn't last very long. I don't know why. The others have been lasting year after year. For some reason, downtown gets neglected. So, Mr. Chairman, I would ask the administration to try to work with the bid district. I'm sure they would love this. So can we get that done in the future and just give us one more neighborhood meeting to go to?
I think
Thank you.
they've had a couple of neighborhood meetings last year. Maybe, yeah, there is
Do
an
you have an
association.
official group?
Yes.
There is? Oh, Mr.
It
Manager,
meets in
yeah.
the morning, once a month, maybe. I just don't know when the last time it met.
I never see it when we get a list of all
Let's
of
send
them.
it to the manager and get an update where it is. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, because if
Okay.
we have one, that's even better.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman.
If they've met, they've only met a few times. Okay. Okay. Send it to the manager as amended. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request manager inform city council as to move the GBH News Worcester Bureau with the one full-time reporter from its location at Federal Street to the Worcester Public Library at 3 Center Square in effort to foster more community engagement and to host community events and public forums in partnership with the library. Said the information should detail whether such friend-free opportunities for library space are available or other organizations, business individuals, among others. Council Rosen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the order, I didn't say ask for a report, because I know the manager has a good 2,000 of them, so I'm not looking for 2,001 here. I just said inform the city council, and maybe you can do that tonight. You know, GBH sold this when they mentioned it several months ago. They were coming into the library. They sold it as they were getting library space for their personal and professional use here in the city of Worcester. And, you know, I talked to a few other agencies and a few individuals who said, oh, can we have the same deal? And I wasn't even sure what the deal was. I mean, I know GBH said that they were getting space and they were going to use it. I listed some possible items here in an effort to foster more community engagement. That sounds good. That's good. I like that. To host community events and public forums and so on. But there are other groups that would like to do similar things, and maybe even if they're different things. So are we just turning library space at the public library, through the chair to the manager, are we just turning library space over to GBH and saying, here, take this, it's yours? That's what GBH told us initially. We're taking over some library space, and this is what we want to do. And there was no mention of them paying any rent, so through the chair to the manager, manager, what is the situation with GBH? I'm not saying they're not deserving. That's not what my order says, but there are other, if they're deserving, there are other agencies too that might want to have the same interest. So what's going on down in the library with GBH?
Mr. Manager?
Yes, through the chair to the councilor. In my conversations with the library director, what has been communicated to me is they have the ability to rent space like any other organization does in the library. There's different community rooms that they can rent for purposes of civic engagement, civic programming, etc. There is no formal agreement with the library on the utilization of the library. There is no lease agreement. There is no nothing where we're providing a free rental space to GBH. My understanding is that there's been a mischaracterization of what this partnership is. There's a partnership in terms of GBH offers civic engagement programming. There's a partnership that they've developed with the library to provide those civic engagement programming. But for the purposes of utilizing the library as a free space for their kind of full-time reporters or et cetera, it's not something that was communicated to me other than just utilization of the library. And if they ever needed to rent the library like every other organization typically does, they would have to go through the process to rent those spaces.
So through the chair to the manager, so the way GBH presented this several months ago to the media and to the public was a little misleading then. Would you agree with that through the chair?
Mr. Manager?
Through the chair to the council, what was communicated to me, it seems like it was mischaracterized, what was communicated in the media. I've asked the library director to communicate that and try to bring some correction in terms of what that actually means and what the utilization of the library is, so that it doesn't bring confusion to anyone in the public.
Okay, so, Mr. Mayor and my colleagues, I'm still not quite sure what the deal is. It sounds like that there's no written agreement or contract with GBH. It's just like any other group. If they want to have a certain function, they would request the use of one of the rooms, public space that's available, and they would have that function. But right now, it doesn't seem like that the GBH is set up in our library with a place that if I want to go down there tomorrow and speak to GBH, I probably won't find them there because they're not set up on a daily basis through any agreement with the city of Worcester. Is that correct?
Through the chair to the
Manager.
council, that is correct.
Okay. I accept that explanation, Mr. Chairman, and I'll make the motion to file it.
All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Next item is 10J, request the manager provide the council with an update concerning the current plans for the preservation, restoration, and redevelopment of the Worcester Memorial Auditorium, Title Odd, which constructed in 1933 as a monument to home of the almost 400 local soldiers from Worcester who died in World War I, has been largely vacant since 1999. Councilor Rosen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, since I filed this order a few weeks ago originally, Peter Dunn was here talking about economic development during the budget hearing, and he made it very clear that we are working hard and we're getting closer to bringing the auditorium back to an auditorium, back to some type of a theater. So I'll make the recommendation, since he gave us a lot of information that night, since I filed this originally, to file the motion.
Okay, all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay. 10M, request the manager, request the police chief provide increased speed and traffic enforcement on Lansing Ave between Grove Street and Holden Street, especially during the morning and afternoon rush hours, as the interest of public safety. Councilor Economo.
As it reads, Mr. Chairman.
All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 10N, request the manager, request the Commissioner of Transportation and Mobility meet with MassDOT to discuss the implementation of appropriate traffic calming measures on Grove Street, north of Holden Street to the Holden line. Councilor Economo.
Mr. Chairman, as you are aware, and I think we're all pretty aware, that stretch of Grove Street, from roughly the Holden line down to Chester Street or Nelson Place has had its problems. And from what I've been made aware of in the past is that it's DOT may have some jurisdiction over this. But we need to do something about that. The accidents that take place at the corner of Chester Street and Grove Street, and as well on Lansing and Drummond, those are dangerous areas. Cars are coming down that through Holden into Worcester at quite the rate. Through the chair to the manager, has there been any conversation at all prior that you're aware of with Mass DOT, or is it their responsibility to minimize or add traffic calming measures in that vicinity?
Mr. Manager.
Yeah, through the chair to the council, I am not personally aware as of yet in my conversations with DTM that this has come up, but I do know that they frequently have reoccurring meetings with Mass DOT to talk about many intersections and many problem areas across the city. I'd be happy to follow up to see if this is part of the conversation, and if not, could we add it to that conversation?
I'd like this to be a priority, Mr. Manager, and I'd like to be part of that conversation when it does happen.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
And just for information, I filed something similar last year, and they were in discussions with Mass DOT. All we could do is our streets. If you know, it's coming down Chester Street to Grove Street, they put some sign up to make it a little bit more, you got to stop. And I think on, what's the other streets up there, coming down to
Chester, Parkton.
Parkton, they put like a bigger stop sign there, but
So other than that, there's nothing else that,
they were supposed to be working with Mass DOT for the last several months to try to figure this out.
okay. Well, like I said, I'd appreciate that conversation.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
we'll send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on O. Request the manager repair the fence located at the cul-de-sac at the end of Brook Street, which was hit by a vehicle and is now in disrepair. Councilor Economo.
As it reads,
All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request the manager, request the police chief provide periodic police presence at the cul-de-sac on Brook Street to help curtail illegal activity occurring in the area. Councilor Economo.
as it reads, Mr. Chairman.
All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on 10R. Request the city manager survey the downtown Worcester Business Improvement District to determine whether there are sufficient number of public restrooms and hand-washing facilities to residents, workers, visitors, or homeless individuals in the home downtown area, which is becoming a vibrant hub for art, culture, business, eateries, services, and community. Council Rosen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thought that last phrase was a pretty good description of what our downtown is becoming, again, with the exception of retail. But when you have to go, you have to go, and it doesn't matter if you're homeless, you're unhoused, you're housed, you're an employee downtown, you're a business owner, okay, you're a visitor, you're a student, it doesn't matter at all. So I just want to be assured by the administration, after they discuss this with the bid district, does the bid district, because they know downtown probably better than most of us, does the bid district think that we have enough public bathrooms downtown? I don't know, the new Dunkin' Donuts, the newly remodeled Dunkin' Donuts, I don't even remember if they had bathrooms before. I'm guessing they probably have bathrooms now that they've remodeled. There's probably some type of regulation that says maybe if you remodel a whole place and you know, do the whole thing over, you have to have bathrooms. But I'm not sure of that. But I would think that downtown is more than around City Hall, and it's more than around Union Station. It's more than around just Lincoln Square. So are there enough bathrooms? I don't think there are, but I'd love to hear the opinion of the bid district. So, Mr. Manager, if you can check with them and a few other folks downtown and report back soon to the council just on this, maybe there is something we can do. It's not a sin if you have to go to the bathroom. There's nothing wrong with having to go to the bathroom. And it doesn't have anything to do whether you're housed or unhoused, or you're rich or poor, or anything to do with any of that. It's just that there have to be places for people to go, all people to go downtown if they have to go to the bathroom. That doesn't mean we eliminate all the other concerns and problems that we have in the city or downtown. It just means that we care about people enough. If they have to go to the bathroom and they're downtown, there's places for them to go. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Manager?
Yeah, I just want to quickly add, this is a good idea, and I'll be happy to provide a report back with an update. About a year or so ago, if not a little bit more than that, the downtown bid received grant dollars to actually conduct a study about the need of public restrooms and other amenities in the downtown. They put together surveys, neighborhood meetings with business owners and residents in the area, and they put that report together. I'd be happy to come back and provide an update in terms of where we're at with that report. And I know they had finalized it, and there was a list of recommendations that they would be working on. And so I'd be happy to provide a report back to the council on updates on those.
Thank you, Mr. Manager.
Thank you. Council King?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As the manager mentioned, this isn't the first go-around we've had on this issue. I do recall the review that the bid had previously completed. I don't recall the specifics of it, but I know that I did file some motions pertaining to public restrooms downtown around the same time I filed the motions pertaining to the public trash receptacles, now called the Woo bins. At the time, I was pushing for a different sort of approach there. It was around that same time, and I'm wondering if we could make a friendly amendment so I can support this completely, that we also get a report back on council, not just mine, but council orders relative to public restrooms, Mr. Chairman. So I'd like to make that as a friendly amendment.
Council Rosen, all set?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's fine with me.
Okay. All those in favor as amended? So ordered. 10S, we'll come back to that when Council Bellata, he's been delayed, so we'll wait till he gets here. 10T, request the manager coordinate with the Worcester Regional Transit Authority Administrator to facilitate infrastructure improvements, renovations, or the building of a new bus stop shelter at the bus 6 stop outside the Worcester State University, where Chandler Street and May Street split, as it reads. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. That brings us to 10V, request that the city manager request Transportation Mobility Program that the traffic lights at the intersection of Mountain Street, East Mountain Street, West and West Boylston Street to have lead greens for left turns from Mountain Street East and Mountain Street West onto West Boylston Street. Councilor Economo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This location, for some odd reason, does not have lead green. It's an area where cars come up from East Mountain and West Mountain Street to West Boylston Street. The light turns from red to green, and it's just gridlock. There's no ability for the traffic from West Mountain Street to lead green onto West Boylston Street, nor the other direction from East Mountain Street onto West Boylston Street. This would be a huge win for the area if we're able to get that signalization in place, just as we have it in other places in the city. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? So ordered. Okay. Request the manager, request the Commissioner of Transportation Mobility provide City Council a report outlining the timeline for when Safe Street intervention, that is traffic calming measures, pedestrian safety measures, and mobility safety measures will be implemented on Lake Ave and Belmont Street. Said timeline should include all anticipated actions from 2026 to 2028. Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to hold this a second time. I'd like to have this hearing in concert with Councilor Bellata, who's been working on this and is not available, so I'd ask for a second hold.
Okay. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Bellata? Councilor Economo?
Yes.
Councilor Brazolo?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Mitra?
Yes.
Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rosen?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay. We are on X. Request City Manager, request Commissioner of Public Works investigate and review the pitch of sidewalks to the intersection of Thorndike Road and Brunko Street in the interest of public safety. Councilor Economo.
Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to say I'll be with the Commissioner tomorrow doing a walk in a number of areas. In this area here too, unfortunately, there's a person who's wheelchair bound, and the pitch of the sidewalk there is, to me, looks very steep. So again, this is where we need, as a municipality, how do we hold the contractors' feet to the fire to make sure the work is getting done properly? I don't know if the pitch is accurate. I don't know if it's too much, but just my visual on a short distance based on his analysis, being wheelchair bound, tells me that it's too steep. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request the city manager work with the police chief and Representative Paula Park to ensure Worcester Street is fully accessible to the residents of 120 Washington Street and open to the local traffic. We'll wait for Council Bellata to come. We'll go back to that. Z, request city manager provide council with a report outlining the ownership, management, and pricing of the Green Island Garage. Said report should include information concerning pricing, parking fee arrangements, and policies for residents of 120 Washington Street at that location. We'll hold that until he comes back tonight. 11A, in the interest of pursuing a bid for the opening round of the NCAA's men's basketball, request manager determine whether bids have been opened in such the tournament. For if such bids have not been opened, request the manager initiate pursuit of said bid. Council King.
As it reads.
Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. First item of business. Let's see. We did this. Did we do this already? 12A. The ALS.
Mr. Chairman, I think because of timing, we couldn't get to it, so I think we did this in finance.
Okay.
Procedurally, if you want to vote on tonight, you can, or you can file it.
Okay, well, we'll hold on the other items. Just hold this until he comes in. Okay. 12H, that the City Council and City of Worcester does hereby support the State Auditor, Diana Zorgo, in her efforts to uphold Massachusetts Ballot Question 1 and authorization of State Auditor to audit in general court, which passed on November 5th, 2024, with 71% of the vote. Approving the initiative. Councilor Rivera.
First, I'd like to also ask if I can amend the resolution to now send a letter to actually Governor Healy, because Now it's going to be asking to veto the bill 5469 from becoming law.
Say it again.
I would like to amend it.
Linda, to include Governor Haley?
To send to Governor Haley.
Oh, send it Governor Haley.
Yeah,
Okay.
please. And just basically, just want to share a little bit of, the Worcester City Councilors are writing to express our strong support for implementing Question 1 from the November 2024 ballot. Worcester's voters approved Question 1 by a significant margin, joining with 71.4% of voters statewide in authorizing State Auditor Diana DeZoglio to audit the Massachusetts legislators. And then, as you are aware, the legislature remains the only state entity that does not permit oversight by the State Auditor's Office. While legislative leaders have claimed that internal audits by a privately procured vendor are sufficient, the voters of Massachusetts have clearly expressed their desire for independent review. This is particularly important given that the Massachusetts legislature ranks among the least transparent in the nation and is one of only 4 state legislators exempt from public record laws, especially regarding the use of taxpayer funds. Government entities that self-regulate pose risks of self-interest and reduce accountability to voters. Implementing this audit would enhance government transparency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility. The Massachusetts legislators should not be exempt from independent oversight, especially regarding the use of taxpayer funds. So we urge you to take the necessary steps to honor the will of the voters and veto House Bill 5469 for becoming law. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Bellata? Councilor Economo?
Yes.
Councilor Rizzolo?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Mitra?
Yes.
Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rosen?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay, we are on 13A. The clerk of the school committee transmitting request that the city council authorize the Worcester Public Schools in the city of Worcester to extend the existing Parent Square contract for 3 years at the cost of $350,000 $78.80. And next one is also transmitting a request of the city authorize the Worcester Public Schools in the city of Worcester to extend the existing custom computers infinite campus contract for 3 years, not to exceed $1.358 million. Roll call.
Mr. Chairman.
Council King.
Thank you. Through the chair to the administration, if you could speak to, is this an increase from prior commitments? And secondly, if you could explain how this interplays with net school spending, is it something that we quote-unquote get credit for or not, through the chair?
Not. Yeah, this is a scheme on. One is just basically extend the existing contract we have now, and the other one was for
So who put this item on?
the city clerk sent it over.
Okay, with no information once again? Through the chair?
I'm sorry, not this.
The clerk?
So through the chair to the council, so what happens is usually the school committee votes on this item and refers it to the city council, and the clerk brings it before the city council.
Thank you. Yeah, I do have those questions. I don't know if we want to hold to the end of the meeting, maybe we can get an answer.
Okay.
I'd like to, and then secondly, to the administration as relates to the net school spending. Is this going to have an impact or not, through the chair? Or are we not aware?
To the chair, to the council, just by the face of what I'm reading here, I don't believe it will have an impact on our net school spending. This is particularly to specific programming that the Worcester Public Schools is engaging in some kind of contract. But again, I would have to ask further questions to the administration, to the school administration, to understand what programs and what level of support will our IT department would be providing that could potentially be offset as a net school spending.
Mr. Chairman, I will make a motion that we get a report on the questions posed by myself and the manager. And I'm going to abstain on this vote. We as a council should have that information. This budget session in our education committee, we had a number of discussions about the moving target of the formula and net school spending and what have you. And once again, we have, this is 1.7 million over 3 years, which isn't a whole lot of money in overall scheme of things, but certainly I would like more information. So I'm going to abstain on a roll call, but would like a motion to get that information. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Manager?
Just one thing that I want to add, these are current existing contracts that the
Right.
schools have. They're just extending the contracts 3 more years for each particular program. So they're current existing contracts that they currently have.
Yeah, thank you. The question on that, Mr. Chairman, the motion was, is there an increase in the costs and what that differential is? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Roll call.
The roll call on the motions or the adopt? So we can take them separately, because I'm going to abstain on 13A and B.
Okay, so do the motion. Is all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 13A and B collectively, roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Pilata? Council Economo?
Yes.
Council Rosolo?
Yes.
Council King?
Abstain.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda? Council Ojeda recused himself. Council
Yeah.
Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Report the planning board upon the amended communication of the city manager recommend adoption of the zoning map amendment relative to Belmont Street, Plantation Street corridor. Refer to economic development. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay, we report to the Committee on Education, 15A to 15D. Motion is to accept. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Committee on Public Safety, motion is to accept 16A to 16G. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We have Committee on Public Works, 17A, motion is to accept on the roll call. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Pilata? Council Economo?
Yes.
Council Rosolo?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Toomey? And Mayor Petty.
Yes, 17D to 17N, motion is accepted to adopt. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. What did I say, 17D to 17U, right? Motion to accept, all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 18A to 18D, motion is advertised to propose ordinances. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Pilata? Council Economo?
Yes.
Council Rosolo?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. First item of business, report to the Committee on Urban Technology, Innovation, and Environment, 19A to 19D. Motions to accept. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 20B, motion to send to the Planning Board. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 20E to 20, is it I, refer to Public Works. All those in favor, opposed, I'm sorry, not I, L. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
Mr. Chair, just real quick, one from 20B, what about 20C to 20?
Say it again. 20C to 20I, refer to the Public Works Committee.
Okay.
Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 20J to 20Z, refer to Traffic and Parking. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 21A to 21E, refer to Traffic and Parking. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. F, refer to the City Manager. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We did the manager's calendar. (23A to 23Z), Chairman's orders, motions are still accept. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 24A to 24V, motion was adopted. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. From the Committee of Finance, the City Council, City of Worcester, does hereby support the work done by the Executive Office of Economic Development. Motions to adopt. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Orders, request the city manager request the Commissioner of Inspection Services take any steps necessary to have the owner of the long abandoned industrial railroad cars and flat cars behind Walmart located at 25 Boys Bowen Way removed the decaying, rusty, and decrepit freight cars once part of the old industrial railroad network serving the southern part of the city. Councilor Rosa?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, all my colleagues, I hope you've seen this when you drive out of Walmart. Haven't seen that, huh?
No.
Oh, my goodness. Drive out of Walmart and you go to, where is it? Is that, you go to the exit and you flip a left, there's railroad tracks, and there's McCune Road,
Oh, yes, I've seen.
right? And so right on the track going out, I guess it's Walmart property. I don't know who owns that. I think there's a little bike lane there too, right next to it. But you look out maybe 100 feet away, and these railroad cars, Mr. Chairman, they're older than I am.
No way.
Mr. Chairman. And they've been sitting, I mean, they're rusty, they're awful, they're not used, they're sitting there, they have no purpose, they haven't had a purpose in the last 50, 60 years. It's awful. I can't believe Walmart doesn't, do something about it. Now, I think they're owned by Providence and Worcester Railroad. I talked about CSX recently, and but it's not CSX, obviously. I think it's Providence and Worcester Railroad. And they just look decrepit, they're rusty, they're awful. I couldn't think of enough adjectives to put into this order, how awful it looks. Why that doesn't bother Walmart, not only the management at that location, but national management of Walmart, it's just so unnecessary. I think there may be a second set of tracks that are in use, but these cars that have been there for decades, I'm sure, take up tracks that aren't being used. So there may be some activity and some good activity going through the area. But, I mean, we, go to people's homes and businesses and we say, hey, this doesn't look right, and you got to mow your lawn, and you can't have rubbish here, and all those good things, I guess. But this is just pathetic. That's not even a strong enough word. So if you're down the Walmart area, take that exit and you'll see exactly what I mean. And I'm not exaggerating one iota. So if we can send that to the administration and maybe he can find out who owns those, why they're sitting there forever. And I tell you, if we don't do something about it, we'll all be long gone and they'll still be there. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request the manager request city solicitor work with the Commissioner of Inspection Services to review the feasibility of creating a door-to-door peddler's license to minimize the number of door-to-door disruptions faced by city's residents and to ensure public safety for the city's seniors. Councilor O'Connell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This comes from a number of residents who've reached out to me in the last month or so who have had enough. Enough of solar companies knocking on their doors, enough of window companies knocking on their doors, pest applicators, landscapers. They've had enough. Politicians, yes, us too. And I think something needs to be done. And most of the people that I've heard from have been seniors who felt more vulnerable. They don't have credentials on them to say that they've been vetted to go out knocking on doors. So I think this would be something that we should take a hard look at and see if it's something we can work with to implement.
Okay. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request the manager request the Commissioner of Public Works work with the city solicitor to provide city council a report concerning the reported sewage backup onto residents of 254 Greenwood Street following work performed by the city. Councilor Fazzola.
Page 34.
Mr. Mayor, I've been in contact with the city solicitor. I'm waiting for some information to come back to my office, so I'd like to file that.
Okay. Motion to file. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. What's that?
I used to.
It's from like 2 weeks ago. Okay. 26E, request city manager request the Commissioner of Parks and Recs Cemetery provide city council report concerning the response times for the residents' tree inspection requests submitted through 311. The report should include the number of tree inspection requests submitted annually, the amount of time between submission of a request and inspection of the tree, the number of trees currently awaiting trimming or removal after being determined to require such work, and the amount of the time between inspection and such work being performed. Councilor Fazzola.
Mr. Chairman, through you, I'm seeking some information because constituents have reached out to me with various tree-related issues, and I'm concerned about the time it takes to respond to those issues. As an example, residents are told to request a tree inspection through 311, and that inspection will be completed within a month, and then a letter will be sent to the resident. When residents are concerned about a dying tree causing damage to people or property, or about tree limbs that have already fallen and haven't been removed, or about tree branches growing into roadways and blocking visibility or pedestrian access, having to wait a month for potential safety issues to be investigated, in my opinion, is too long. To make matters worse, I have heard from residents that they don't get a letter within 4 to 6 weeks of reporting the issue. When residents do get a letter, it may state that the tree needs trimming or to be removed, but doesn't give a timeline because there's such a significant backlog of tree issues to deal with. I have heard of one instance of a person receiving a letter in 2023, and to date, nothing has been done. To me, that is concerning on two fronts. First, I don't think that it's acceptable amount of time to respond to residents. If we think of the city as a business and the product it offers, the product is our municipal services. If I needed a tree removed from my property and a private arborist told me it would take a month to come and take a look at the issue and potentially years to fix the issue, I would move down the list and call other companies. Residents do not have that ability with respect to city-owned trees, but I believe they deserve a comparable service level. Second, when people are reporting these issues, the city is now on notice about potential sources of property damage, whether it's tree limbs falling on fences, cars, sheds, or homes. If it's taking so long to address these issues, I would think that would raise concerns about whether the city is opening itself to avoidable liability with respect to property damage claims. I understand that these may be isolated incidents that I'm hearing about. So I'm requesting this information to better understand exactly what is going on. How many tree issues are reported? How long does it take to inspect those issues? And if an inspection results in trimming or removal being identified, how long does that take? And one other issue I'd like to bring to my colleagues' attention and the general public is when you do contact the office and the commissioner, Rob Antonelli, the answer I get back is it's under review. Now, how do you get back to a constituent and tell them it's under review? This isn't Major League Baseball. This isn't the NFL. We're not asking for a review of a ball or strike or if someone's foot is inbounds. I find that, not acceptable to get that kind of review. And he's a good man, I'm not saying that, but that is not the response I can go back to my constituent and tell them. So, again, I'll leave it there. Mr. Manager, if you could address some of these issues I brought up. I don't need a report. I just want to try to improve the process here as far as trees in the city. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilor King, what purpose is yours?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want a point of clarification and a potential amendment. This asked for a report, but the counselor said he didn't want a report, so I just want to be clear what we're doing actually before I vote.
I think it's going to be the prerogative of the manager, I guess, on that.
Says
That's why I read it.
requesting a report. Are we looking for a report with I just want to know if I'm looking, because I
Council
would
Frisell?
vote to support looking for response times, but if that's withdrawn, I need to know that the
Council
report is
Frisell?
desired or not.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I know the city manager is inundated with reports. If he could address it tonight, assure me that he'll talk to the commissioner and try to improve that response time, I'd be fine with it. But I know as we wrote the item, it does say report, but again, I know what workload he has with him, so I'm trying to make it easier. But that's where I'm coming from, Mr. Chairman. If you want to give us a report, Mr. Manager, it's up to you. Thank you.
Okay. Council King?
So is that an amended order or what? Because if it's to request a report with metrics pertaining to tree removal, I'm going to vote yes.
Okay.
So I just want to be clear. I know you're the chair. What is this motion?
He's
Or-
asking,
Order.
he's asking for a report, so.
Okay, so I support that. That's my point of clarification. My friendly amendment would be, I'd also like to know and see to what degree we're outsourcing any privatization of the work. I know that, I don't know if that's happening or not. I know that we have challenges as it relates to personnel and whatnot. So I would like to determine, as part of that report, as offered as a friendly amendment, that we get an understanding data-wise as relates to that. And I just want to state this for the public as well. I'm not apologetic for reports. The reason that reports are requested and data and metrics are requested is not just to pigeonhole or sort of micromanage the administration. It's also an indication of areas of need. And I'm confident that the administration will address those moving forward. As relates to the Parks Commissioner, I think that department has taken a significant turn for improvement and betterment since the manager, well, not since, but additionally since the manager's shift and separating out the Parks Department. I understand the frustration of my colleague. I know firsthand from folks over this past year what happens when there is not a response and there's a tree that goes down on people's property, et cetera, and the concerns there. So I support this wholeheartedly as written, and I would ask just a friendly amendment as relates to any privatization of the work. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Council Berglund?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise to support my colleague, Councilor Frisolo, and also Councilor King. For the most part, I would tweak maybe some of the last comments, but I would say this: as I've gotten as I've been on the council longer and longer, my view kind of changes on certain things that seems to continue to be frustration for some, if not all of us. So through the chair, I just have a question, because I want to make sure I'm correct, and I might not be, to the manager. Is the Parks Department tree warden Rob Antonelli, or is it somebody else?
So you're looking for clarification on the order?
For clarification.
Mr. Manager?
To the chair, to the council, all tree-related work in the city is under the Division of Forestry, and that's under the Parks Department, which is under the leadership of Rob Antonelli.
So with that clarification, I mean, I personally think Mr. Commissioner Antonelli does a good job, but I think he's got too much on his plate. I've said this before. The opportunity to cut trees down is a narrow window. They're not cut in the middle of the winter, usually, it's my understanding. I've also experienced twice this week constituent messages that trees that have been looked at several years ago have not been addressed. I will say Commissioner Antonelli was very responsive this week to one of those issues, and there is some dispute as to whether or not the constituent was talking about a limb or the entire tree. But I have had many instances in the past where it seems like a report was done and then it's forgotten for a great period of time. Personally, I think the department is overwhelmed, particularly seasonally, and when they're asked to make sure the fields look good, and the pools and the parks, and now they're asked to take care of the trees, all within a short span of good weather. I think it's overwhelming. So consistent with, I should say, Councilor King, I do think looking at privatization, or if he wasn't saying specifically that, I would say that. And that's what I meant by tweaking about it. I think there's an argument to be made without losing any jobs that there's not enough personnel in that department to address the trees in a timely fashion during the warm weather when they're able to be removed. Now, I'll wait for the report. I do think there is, I'm less excited about asking for reports than maybe some of my colleagues, not because I don't think from time to time reports are important or valuable, but I do think that coming into the summer session, with one meeting in July, one meeting in August, the opportunity with the many reports you're asked, through the chair to the manager, of getting a report back, may very well be September and October, and now we're back to where we started next year. So I'd like to see some action, actually not on paper, but in its reality. So I would hope the manager would look at the communication with Commissioner Antonelli and the tree department, the forestry department, and see if privatization makes sense. And if it's a personnel issue or timing issue, and get back to us as soon as possible. I will say that the one thing I don't think should be overlooked, and that is that if the tree issues aren't looked at and resolved timely, in the warm weather, you have a broken limb or a hanging branch that easily could come down in the fall when we have strong winds, and nor'easters in the winter, and snow and weight of the ice. And it is a public safety issue. I want to minimize that. You know, tree limbs do fall down on cars and sometimes on people. And sometimes people get hurt and sometimes people die. So I hope we get on this quickly, and I'd like to see some action before any reports come back. Thank you.
Okay. Council King?
Thank you. In the words of my colleague, for public edification, with respect to reports and asks and the like, I want the public to know city manager doesn't have to pen these reports himself. There's a number of departments
That's not on the agenda
are
tonight.
tasked, well, it is on the agenda, that are tasked with doing exactly that. And, you know, it's not a matter of excitement. We discuss issues and call for orders and reports based on what's going on in the city, Mr. Chairman. And
I agree. So that's not on the agenda, so can we move on from this?
thank you. And in addition to that, Mr. Chairman, as it relates to my comments that were commented on regarding privatization, I just want to clarify. There's a bird. There's a plane. So as it relates to the comments, I don't want it to be misrepresented. My request and my amendment was not in the interest of privatizing the work. It was simply, I agree with my colleague around the fact that, you know, there's perhaps a lack of personnel and staffing in this particular division that's tasked with managing the trees and what have you. And I'd like to take a snapshot to see, are we accessing, you know, private outsourcing? And if we are, you know, the intent of this is to determine if we need more staffing increases in that department. So I want to be perfectly clear. This is not a call for privatization. It's a request to analyze if in fact we're doing that, along with the data that's going to be provided as it relates to the timeliness of the work. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to send that.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, could the manager respond to
Mr.
it
Manager?
tonight, please?
Yeah, through the chair to the council, you know, one of the things that I've been instilling in many of our departments is in something that we're very trying to do, adhere to and create a culture around that is continuous improvement, finding ways that we can improve our processes, our systems, et cetera. And that's what makes good government, good municipality, and good management within the city. This is an area that we can take a deeper dive and understand what are the areas that we need to improve, what is the current process, Has there been areas where we've had some challenges, and what are the areas that we can strengthen? I do want to say that there are areas where we sometimes utilize private contractors to support the work, whether it's planting of trees, stump removals, et cetera. There's many different ways that we utilize privatization and private contractors in many of our services that we provide through the city, often because of specialty or capacity, or because, again, they provide a specific service that we need. So again, it's something that we'd be happy to provide a report, but again, it's something that we want to continue to work with the Parks Department as we try to improve our processes as a municipal government.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I appreciate that response. And the only thing I'd ask, Mr. Manager, again, is if you'd talk to the commissioner and express the feelings that were addressed there. Thank you.
He also included as an amendment the process of taking trees down. So it goes to a tree commission. So everybody, we have new councils here who don't know the process. So sometimes the process can be long. So, okay. Because Rob doesn't make those decisions by himself. He goes to a tree commission. And they go on. Correct?
Yeah. Through the chair to the council, there is a tree arborist that are certified to review these trees, review the conditions, review the situation, and then they make decisions or recommendations. I think it'd be helpful, based on the discussion that we've had tonight, I think it'd be helpful for us to provide a comprehensive report to the council so that everybody understands what that process looked like. And if there's areas that we need to enhance and improve upon, I think that'd be also a good discussion with the council as well.
Okay, refer that to the manager as amended. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on F. Request the manager provide council with an update regarding the implementation of paid details using CSX funding designated for Grafton Hill area to address resident concerns of excessive speed and other traffic violations on Lake Ave, other streets in the Grafton Hill area. Said update should identify the cost of paid details per shift, per week, and when those details will begin. Councilor Fazzolo.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I have discussed traffic concerns on Lake Avenue and throughout Grafton Hill area at length, particularly as they relate to truck traffic traveling to and from the CSX property. Through conversations with the city manager and police chief Saucia, digital speed monitors have been installed along Lake Ave, and the Worcester Police Department has conducted speed enforcement in that area. I appreciate those efforts. However, residents continue to raise serious concerns about excessive speeding and other traffic violations, especially as the warmer weather brings more vehicles and pedestrians traveling in the area. I also recognize that the police department has limited resources for traffic enforcement and cannot remain on one street indefinitely. At the police department budget hearing, the chief indicated that traffic enforcement is typically conducted in a particular area for about a week before being rotated elsewhere in the city. For that reason, I have suggested using CSX funding designated for the Grafton Hill area to pay for police details that would provide targeted traffic enforcement on Lake Ave and other streets impacted by these concerns. The purpose of this item is to get a clear update on implementation, including the cost of paid police details per shift and per week, and when those details are expected to begin. Mr. Chairman, again, to my colleagues and the general public, I get peppered constantly by people asking me to address this issue. And I've spoke to the city manager, and we have a plan in place. And Mr. Manager, as you know, I appreciate your efforts, and I just would like to get those going as soon as possible. And we discussed it, and if you could just respond so the general public knows that we are on top of it and they are coming. We'd like to get some news to people that I've told that I'd be here tonight addressing this issue. So through you, Mr. Chairman, I'd appreciate a response by the manager.
Thank you. Send that to the manager. Council King, what purpose are yours?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
What's that? Wait a second, we have a question first.
Excuse me?
Hang on for one second, Council.
Mr. Mayor, I'm not asking for a report here. It does not.
Oh, you
ask
want
for a
him to
report.
respond?
I just want him to.
That's my mistake, Council King. So he's going to
Okay, thank
respond to this Council Fazzolo first.
Through the chair to the council, thank you. We are actually working through that. We're trying to identify the detail officers and put out the call for the detail officers for the area. The cost is minimal, and so we feel as though we can move pretty quickly on that. So we're hoping to put out the feelers on the officers and see how many we can get over the next few days so we can be able to deploy them quickly.
Thank you. All set?
Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to amend this to include an update on where we're at with the group that should be created at some point as relates to dispersal of CSX funding. I can't recall, I've had an order in the past relative to that. We found ourselves in a situation last term where my orders brought to light the lack of expenditure from that fund. The neighborhood group that was assembled and associated had disintegrated. And what we don't want to do is to have monies coming out of that fund without neighborhood input. That was the whole spirit of it. As a council, I don't have a problem supporting this, but I would like an amendment to get an update on where that, and I can't remember the correct terminology, that neighborhood group, assemblage is related to dispersal of funds. We got to get away from, a lack of approach that's a little bit more inclusive. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Councilor Zoll?
Mr. Chairman, that's a separate motion that
Yes.
he's asking for?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's my understanding, I mean, granted, I've only been here 5 months, but it was my understanding, I've been very involved with the Grafton Hill Neighborhood Association, and any use of funds that came out of the Grafton Hill section of CSX funds, I was always told and thought that the District 3 counselor had that ability to use those funds in any way that they deemed necessary. So if there is language, I'd like to see it as well,
Okay.
because I'm not aware of it. And I can tell you that I have addressed this issue with the Neighborhood Association each month that we meet, and they are vehemently with me on this. And they want not only police presence on Lake Ave, but also on Massasoit Road and also on Grafton Street. So we're going to use the funds in other areas as well. I want the general public to realize that when they see those paid details, that's where it's coming from. And it was my decision, along with the constituent requests that I have received, that's where they'll be. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Councilor King?
Mr. Chairman, this would be a double amendment to this particular item. And for the general public, just clarification, this isn't preventing or understating the impact of the neighborhood association. But I would like, as a double amendment, that we get a report back on the previous orders that I've filed as relates to this matter, so that the folks that are here can have that understanding. There was a determined effort to make sure that there was a proper neighborhood sort of group that was appointed specifically for this to give additional input in addition to any particular neighborhood group association. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So, Councilor Fazol, on this time, you're just going to file it because you got.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
we
you,
have
Mr.
two separate reports for Councilor King. So, motion is to file. Those in favor, oppose ordered. Councilor King's two items. Motion to approve. Those in favor, oppose ordered. So ordered. Okay, request, city manager requests the Transportation Mobility Revised City Council update concerning implementation of traffic changes to restoring access to Acton Street to Rice Square. Councilor Fazol?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, I first raised this issue at our January 20th meeting. Since then, I have been able to meet with Mass DOT representatives along with the Department of Transportation Mobility. From the conversations I've had, this appears to be a relatively straightforward traffic change to implement. So I'm not sure why it's taking so long, and I'm seeking an update or plan from the administration as to when this will be implemented. And I'd like a ballpark type timeline of when this could be done, because I've told people it's going to happen, and I don't like looking like I'm crying wolf. I want this to be implemented as soon as possible. And the manager has been very responsive to me, but again, it's not done yet, and I'd like to see it done. So if the manager could just, again, update or inform the general public that we have talked about it and how long it might be before they see those changes, I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Okay, Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd love to vote for this, but I can't stand in support of it yet. I'd like to ask through the chair to the administration. There are a number of things that I've brought forward in the past as relates to police patrols in blue spaces, specifically going back to Indian Lake and Lakeland segment. And we, right around as we were coming out of COVID, I believe, or right before, there had been a purchase of a boat, and I think also, or perhaps it was a donation from DCR, maybe, to the city for patrolling purposes. And I think that we were repairing one and putting.
Wrong item, Mr. Chairman.
This is pertaining to this.
That's the next item.
Huh?
I'm talking about.
Oh, this is acting?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought you were going to.
I thought I was on Flint Pond. Okay, 26J.
We
Okay.
forgive you.
Okay. I thought you were going to roll back into it somehow, but, okay. So we are going to file that. Oh, you want to, Mr. Manager, or do you want to report back?
I'd like him to address it.
Yeah, if you can. Yeah,
Please.
or you-
Yeah, through the chair to the council, it's something that I know has been a priority for the council. We've been working on it quite a bit. We've met with Mass DOT to try to get an understanding of Mass DOT on the position. I would have to we're working with DTM to get a better understanding of the analysis of what it would take, what improvements needs to be made. One of the biggest challenges is the signalization of the light there. So we would have to try to get a report, and I want to work as quickly as possible with DTM to bring back to the council on what are the potential changes that need to happen there to be able to address the area.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, through you, I appreciate that response, but I just want the general public and my colleagues to know, I along with Commissioner Raleigh, went to Mass DOT. They believe that it's very minimal changes that have to take place and that it should be done. They agree on they agree with me that the decision that was made to make that a one-way street was an incorrect one, where the street is too narrow for trailer trucks to be making a delivery at those two businesses and then have to navigate a narrow Acton Street and Houghton Street, and in turn, again, I won't be repetitive, but taking side view mirrors off and a street pole when they're trying to take the turn. So we're trying to alleviate that and get the traffic back out onto Rice Square. And I'm not speaking for Mr. Raleigh, but he thought at that meeting that it would be pretty minimal to do and quickly could be changed and brought back to two-way Acton Street and access to Rice Square. So I'm looking forward to a response from administration and Mr. Raleigh and get that to be the case that we are able to access Rice Square from Acton Street. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to sign on to this.
Okay. So as amended, send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on 26H. Request city manager and commissioner of public works include language in the contracts with companies chosen to complete sidewalk and/or street repairs that ensures all work that has begun to one season be completed the same season. Councilor O'Connell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I find it unacceptable, the way we handle, the way we do our streets. They're not getting done. They're not getting done in a timely fashion. Streets are getting torn apart. Sidewalks are getting ripped apart. I'll use Burncoat Street. I'll use Park Ave. I'll use Cheyenne Road. They ripped the sidewalk up on Burncoat Street, it took all season before they finished the sidewalk. All season, November, December, unacceptable, unacceptable. Park Ave right now at the corners, all the wheelchair ramps are non-existent. It's dirt, it's been like that for months. Unacceptable. People in these areas too, people are walking these areas. They're walking, they're trying to get to WPI, they're trying to get to the park, to the grocery store. Unacceptable. We need to put language in our contracts that our contractors only work on what they can finish in a timely fashion. Not get ahead of themselves because it's easier for them to tear up the entire sidewalk and then have another crew come finish the sidewalk. We need to work in a more consistent manner where the job is getting done in a timely fashion, so whether it's pedestrians or motorists can use the roadways. I find it 100% unacceptable the way things are being done of recent years, and maybe it's not our doing, but here we are. It's the first week of June. Cheyenne Road was ripped up last year. There hasn't been a contractor back to finish it. And we're here in the first week of June. We lost April, May, and we're probably gonna lose this month too. Unacceptable. Like I said, the intersections there on Park Ave, the wheelchair ramps, 100% unacceptable. People cannot navigate, period. It's wrong. We need to change the way we do business. We need to protect ourselves, not the contractor. It's our tax dollars that are doing this work, and that's who we need to keep an eye out for. Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Chairman.
Council Mitchell wants to sign on. Anybody else? As amended to the manager, all those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Okay.
Council Bala?
Yeah, I'd like to sign on that as well.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Alabama wants to sign on as amended. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay, we are on I. Request city manager, request Commissioner of Transportation Mobility provide city council with a report detailing the point for speed bumps, saturation point for speed bumps. Instead, report should include information related to current process and to select speed bumps, locations, criteria related to appropriate and inappropriate uses of locations for speed bumps, the impact on speed bumps have on traffic, speed bumps in the neighborhood, safety in the city, and how the installation of these speed bumps on certain streets has affected other neighboring streets. Councilor McConnell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was appreciative to see what came across too from Commissioner Raleigh on this. I look forward to that discussion. I've heard from many residents now as the speed mats are getting out there. You know, we're just moving the problem from one area to another area. Is there too much saturation in one particular area? What is the process? And I look forward to seeing what Commissioner Raleigh and his team come forward with, because I think that will help set the tone of where we go with these. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Manager.
Yeah, through to the council, it's a good order. I know that Councilor Rosen has submitted a previous order regarding speed humps and better policies around it. I've received the draft policy last week that I've reviewed, so we're hopeful that we can bring something to the council very shortly that provides some parameters and some guidance on what do we need to do around these speed humps, because yeah, there's a lot of them, and so we need to better provide a better process, approvals, recommendations, where, how many, et cetera. And I think that would be extremely helpful, not only for all of us as a city, but also the residents as they're submitting petitions as well.
I appreciate your comments, Mr. Manager, and like I said, I do look forward to seeing that come forward. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so the manager, all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on J. Request the city manager provide police chief provide counsel with the status concerning the purchasing of a boat for the purposes of police patrols on Flint Pond section of the Lake Quinsigamond. Council Fazzola.
As it reads.
Those Council King, followed by Council Toomey.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Apologies for speaking on this out of order. As I stated, I'd love to support this. I can't as written because I have some questions. And as I stated previously, I had filed a number of orders pertaining to patrolling of blue spaces, additional staff, park staff in our blue spaces, in places where boats or jet skis, personal, et cetera, watercraft are in and out. And, as I mentioned, we had a boat that I think was donated, bless you, by, I think, DCR. We had an additional boat. At one point, we were waiting for lettering on the boat. And then when we got to the point where there was a potentiality of presence on our water bodies, we were informed by the chief that they did not have folks that were properly trained. They did not have the capacity to patrol these blue spaces. I know that there's an intersection with state and local on Lake Quinsigamond, and I can't support this on its face without additional information from the manager. So my ask to the chair, to the administration is, how many boats do we have? How often are folks going out on patrol? And do we have the folks that are trained to do so? And do we have enough? Through the chair to the administration.
Mr. Manager?
Yeah, through the chair to the council. The police department has one boat. They initially had two boats. One of them, pretty bad shape, disrepair, is not salvageable. Something that we are looking to either sell or dispose of. The one boat that they currently have is the boat that they currently use to provide enforcement to Lake Quinsigamond. The issues with that boat is that the canopy of that boat is not allowed to be able to transition into Flint Pond because of the bridge and go onto the bridge. And so that canopy plays an issue. We do have another boat that was provided to us. It was a donation through DCR for the fire department. The fire department utilizes that for their scuba in their kind of operations. But we have one boat that the police department utilizes for enforcement. And I think here the request is for an additional boat that allows to be able to patrol and provide enforcement on the other side of Flint Pond. We've received some neighborhood concerns related to some speed and some activity in that area. And so the current boat that we have, the canopy does not allow us to go under the bridge.
Thank you, and through the chair to the administration, for clarification, the boat that we were either repairing or bringing on board around 2021, 2022 or so, is that the one we're currently using through the chair, or was that the one that's in disrepair?
Mr. Manager?
Yeah, through Chittagong, that's actually the one that we that is in disrepair right now, and we actually is not repairable. We had to then acquire that new boat that is the one that has the canopy, the one that we currently use right now.
Okay. And through the chair to the administration, the chief had indicated lack of training available and completed by law enforcement as relates to the boats and what have you. In addition to that, Mr. Chairman, a lack of person power. Through the chair of the administration, the Indian Lake as well was an area that we were looking to see some folks on the water body. And, you know, it's similar to back in the day when folks would race behind the airport or even up and down some of our streets where they knew there was no law enforcement, but it was conducive to do so. And, you know, that's why a presence matters. Through the chair to the administration, is there any presence on water bodies outside of Lake Quinsigamond, through the chair?
Mr. Manager?
Of a boat from Worcester PD?
To the chair, to the council, as of my understanding, and I'd be happy to provide a report back from the chief, I don't believe we have additional capacity to provide to Indian Lake. Right now, the folks that we have trained and staffed to be able to manage these boats are currently assisting at Lake Quinsigamond.
Through the chair, and that's a joint partnership with the state and Shrewsbury as well, through the chair?
Through the chair to the council, that is correct.
Okay, so is that 3 separate boats or a boat that's shared? I can't remember.
Through the chair to the council, I'm not 100% positive whether it's something that we share or it's something that it's only utilized by us. But again, we'd be happy to provide a report on that.
Sure. Appreciate the excitement of providing a report. That's great. The
Point of order.
the idea.
Is this, what's,
The idea.
what's
It's a point of order.
What's the
You
point of
can
order?
interrupt.
Point of order. Clarify for me, Mr. Chairman. I thought people had to stand
In
either
opposition.
opposed or
He's asking
friendly
for,
amendment.
he's getting them, he's asking.
This is just asking for an update. I'm not
Mr.
asking
Chairman,
to
I
vote on a
Hang on,
motion.
I'm finished.
me.
I stood stating that I was I could not support, which equals in opposition if I
That's
can't
how I
get
took it.
specific
He was
answers.
going to oppose it, and
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that, but you're opposing an update?
he can,
I don't-
he can do
I
whatever he
said
wants.
based on the
I
language.
understand,
Okay,
okay, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I just wanted to make sure, as a new member, I understand the rules right, okay? So
Yeah.
that's my point of order for standing and asking.
No,
Thank you.
He came out at the very beginning and said he was
Thank you.
opposing it.
Mr. Chairman, through the chair, I lost my thought here regarding police patrols, but I certainly would like an understanding of any planning related to the other water bodies. In addition, I would offer that as a friendly amendment. We want to make sure that we have folks that are trained and that are available. So I can certainly support this with a friendly amendment. If not accepted, I'll make it as a separate motion. I can still support it. But without those questions answered, I was certainly in opposition. Thank you.
Counsel Toomey?
Mr. Chairman,
Purpose of your eyes, Counsel Toomey?
I rise for clarification. Senator Moore, former District Councilor Russell, and myself, several years ago, had many meetings with the community on that area. I actually live a block away from Flint Pond, and I can attest to the incredible noise and issues and interference of quality of life. We had an awful lot of work. We also worked collaboratively with the environmental police. We also worked with the Shrewsbury Police Department, which has control of the boat ramp, which is where a lot of these folks are coming into. This is a big issue, and I think, Councilor Fasolo, I support his order, because this is a massive issue, and it's a very small body of water that is impacting an awful lot of people. And the things that are happening over there are terrible. There's a lot of drug issues as well, and people are actually, they've been known to go with, rent out their jet skis and water skis. There's all sorts of stuff. So I rise for clarification on that. There's been a lot of work done on it, and unfortunately, we've had these hiccups, and we need to continue to do that. And so I want to support Council Fasolo in his order. Thank you.
Okay, Counsel Bergman?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I rise to propose I would consider a friendly amendment. We had this discussion over Indian Lake. Clearly recall, it wasn't that long ago, what the arguments were. There seem to have been a small number of colleagues that felt that any presence of police on the lake was problematic. I'm sensing some of that today with regards to Flint Pond. So my motion for an amendment is to also ask for feedback from either neighbors, neighborhood groups, and/or Worcester Police Department regarding the success of using a boat on other bodies of water, including Indian Lake. My experience talking to neighbors, property owners, and users of Indian Lake is that they've never been more appreciative of having eliminated some of the problems over there. I can't imagine, I've heard a comment a moment or two ago about making sure that police officers are trained and available. You could oppose anything for any reason. I just can't imagine what the police department's going to put on untrained people, or people that are unavailable aren't going to be manning a boat. So it's every person's right on this body to contest or oppose things. I'm just asking for feedback by way of an amendment for how successful other situations on bodies of water in the city have been resulting from using a police boat. Thank you.
Thank you. Council King, for a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make an amendment as well, an additional amendment. Part of that discussion, when the chief had indicated he did not have enough resources to provide to all of our blue spaces, was that there was a cadence that occurred with DCR, I believe. Is that the right? Through the Sheriff's Administration. Is it DCR that does some of the patrolling? It is. So that was part of that discussion. And just for clarification, I advocated for this previously. Again, with the amendments, I can support this. I just want it to be a complete order. If not, I'll do it as a separate motion. But through the Sheriff's Administration, does DCR currently also put folks on that water body that we know of at Flint Pond, through the chair?
You get a report, or?
To the chair, to the council, I'm not aware of any at Flint Pond right now.
Yeah. So I would ask, Mr. Chairman, that we also, as a friendly amendment, get a report back on what DCR's capacities are in addition to, the police patrols, because from what I recall, they work with the city law enforcement to identify prime time usage, and they work together to cover those specific times of the week or the month, or if it was a holiday, what have you, and there was a cadence there and an interplay. So that would be my request as an amendment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. So we'll send that to manager as amended. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Next item is request that the manager request police chief provide council with a report concerning recommendations for ordinance pertaining to regulation of scooters, motorcycles, electric bikes, etc. Council Toomey.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First, I'd like to just make an amendment to include for ordinances, bylaws, trail restrictions, or enforcement policies pertaining to the regulation of scooters, unicycles, electric bikes, etc. Mr. Chairman, several Massachusetts communities and some communities in neighboring states like New Jersey have adopted or are considering local ordinances and bylaws, trail restrictions, or enforcement policies regarding e-bikes, scooters, and other micro-mobility devices. In Massachusetts, Boston follows state law but actively regulates where e-bikes can operate, especially on sidewalks and bike infrastructure. Cambridge has detailed guidance on e-bike classification and where they're allowed, especially around shared youth paths. Wellesley has issued local guidance and signage concerning e-bike operations and trail use. Dedham Police published detailed operational guidance covering sidewalks, school grounds, speed limits, helmet requirements, and scooter enforcement. Natick has a comprehensive motorized micro-mobility guidance covering e-bikes, mopeds, and scooters. Plymouth has published formal e-bike and scooter regulations and rider guidance. Longmeadow has posted detailed rules concerning classes of e-bikes and prohibited riding locations. Lexington specifically addressed high-powered e-motos and electric dirt bikes, restricting their use on public streets and bikeways. Nantucket has discussed proposed bylaws involving speed limits, path etiquette, and micro-mobility enforcement. New Jersey, Woodbridge Township reportedly attempted stricter enforcement on Class 3 e-bikes, including impoundment discussions. Massachusetts is currently considering statewide legislation that would create formal classification and regulatory system for e-bikes, scooters, mopeds, and similar devices. The trend across communities generally includes bans on sidewalk riding, speed limits on shared use paths, helmet requirements, age restrictions, restrictions on high-powered electric dirt bikes, trail-specific rules, and enforcement against reckless riding. I think those are all reasonable requests, especially with the presence of these bikes and other micro-mobility items, especially on our sidewalks. I saw someone get hit the other day by a bike on a sidewalk. So I think that this is something that certainly is, while we know the state's moving forward, it certainly would make sense for us to have some basic rules and regulations concerning this. Thank you.
Send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Communication City Auditor, motions to file. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. School Department regarding extending the 5-year lease agreement for Chromebooks. Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Bellata? Yes. Council Economo?
Yes.
Council Pizzolo?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda? Has recused himself. Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Reports to the Committee of Traffic and Parking, 29A to 29H. Motion to accept and to adopt. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 29I to 29U. Motions to accept. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. To be ordained on a roll call, 30A and 30B regarding salary positions. Roll call collectively.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Council Bellata?
Yes.
Council Economo?
Yes.
Council Pizzolo?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes, we'll go back to the orders in the previous section. Find out where we are. I think 10S was the first one. Request City Manager requests the Commissioner of Transportation and Mobility work with the City of Swiss to determine the feasibility of banning commercial vehicles on Hamilton Street between Commonwealth Ave and Boston Ave. Council Bellata.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to submit this because there has been an uptick in large commercial, 18-wheeler tractor trailers parking there, different commercial, I'll call them like plumbing or utility vehicles being parked there overnight. And the challenge is when you're coming out of Boston Ave onto Hamilton Street, taking that right turn or even going across, you can't see the upcoming traffic coming east on Hamilton. So I'd appreciate if we could try to ban commercial vehicles in this section, because it is definitely a traffic and public safety issue. So thank you.
Okay, I'll send that to the manager.
Please,
All
thank
those
you.
in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on, I believe, W. Was W yours? No, hang on. No, that's not it. MAC. Z? Yep.
Why?
Y and Z. Request that the city manager work with the police chief and representative of the Polar Park to ensure Washington Street is fully accessible to residents of 20 Washington Street and open to local traffic. Council Bellata.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, here, residents had reached out. There's major concerns with folks that live at District 120 not being able to access their street and get to their building during games. Understanding that, this building and upcoming development is part of Polar Park, but I want to make sure that residents that live in this building can get to their homes and have items delivered and have access just like everyone else does. So I want to make sure that the city and Polar Park figure something out so residents have access to their homes. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Manager, all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Z, request the manager by council to report outlining the ownership, management, and pricing of the Green Island Garage. Said report should include information concerning pricing, parking, fee arrangements, policies for residents of 120 Washington Street at the location. Council Bellata.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Again, there's been some issues. Residents at District 120 have brought this to me that their fees have gone up on parking, and a lot of the units that are in the development are affordable units. So folks that are on fixed incomes have concerns about being able to live in this building and access parking. Parking is a real challenge over there in this section of the Canal District. Cities, we've certainly really done a lot with density in that area, but there are some issues here with parking, and especially for residents that want to call the Canal District home, that it's been very challenging for them to find parking, having to move constantly due to Polar Park games and events. But want to make sure that residents that are in this area have equal opportunity to find parking and, again, to access their homes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Send that to the manager. All those in favor. Council King would like to sign on. Everybody wants to sign on.
Thank you.
As amended to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We are on resolution that the City Council of the City of Worcester does hereby recognize May 2026 as ALS Awareness Month in the City of Worcester and call upon all Americans to join in supporting ALS research, advocating for increased funding, and stand in solidarity with those affected by the relentless disease. Councilor Bellata, I know we did this like a couple weeks back, but if you want to do it again, you're more than welcome.
Happy to recognize, May was ALS month. I know kind of, along with other agenda items, got backed up because of our very lengthy finance committee meetings. So, many folks, I know some individuals, I'm sure we all know someone that has been touched by ALS. And it's a very challenging disease. And just wanted to take time to recognize this and recognize how important ALS research and advocacy is, and how important it is for us to, recognize folks, the families that are fighting this. And I know you all know, it was in the news recently, one of our Worcester Public School teachers was a part of being recognized for her courage in battling this disease. So just wanted to recognize this and ask the council to support ALS research, advocating for those impacted, and increasing funding and funding for research. So thank you.
Okay, roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Bellata?
Yes.
Councilor Economo?
Yes.
Councilor Rizzolo?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Mitra?
Yes.
Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rosen?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. I think that was the last. So that brings us to the end of the meeting, I believe. So, okay. Motion is to adjourn. All those in favor? You sure you want to leave? Everybody shaking? Motion. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered.